A very warm good afternoon to one and all of you, my dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ. As President of Seeri, Saint Ephraim Ecumenical Research Institute, Kottayam, it is my privilege and honor to welcome you all here today. You, our distinguished guests on the podium, and you, our visitors and participants in the audience. The word Syriac is what connects us and has brought us here together. Yet this very word makes me think not only of you, our distinguished guests gathered for the 8th World Syriac Conference, but also of the countless number of peoples who are Syriac by heritage and nationality and who are suffering right now in their homes, in their home countries, or in exile. I feel it only right and fitting to express our deepest concern and sorrow for the tragic situation of these brothers and sisters of ours who are in dire distress. May the Lord, who heals the broken and lifts us those who are bowed down, be their strength, hope and courage. May I request all of you to remain seated, but pause for a moment of prayer for these, our dear brothers and sisters in great misery. Thank you. May the Lord of all nations and Father of all change the hearts of those responsible for the terrible agony inflicted on the fellow human beings. May they come to a true knowledge of God's vision for His creation. God wants all people, despite differences of race and culture, to live on this earth as one family. He has called us to live together in peace. No person should have a fellow human being and then claim to do so in God's name. We are all God's children. Let us hope and pray today that all who suffer or are driven into exile because of their faith will soon be brought home and experience again the blessing of the Lord of peace. At this moment, I also call to mind the demise of one of our revered fathers, Joseph Kurilos, the senior metropolitan of the Malabar Independent Syrian Church, who passed away the other day. A great friend of Seeri and great friend of our Syriac patrimony. Let us also place him in our prayers. My dear friends, you have come here for this 8th World Syriac Conference. Many of you have been here before. Some of you perhaps first time, some more than once, some even for the 8th time. But today we are launching the 8th World Syriac Conference. As in the past, so also today, you have responded generously and come here to make this event beneficial to all the lovers of Syriac language and heritage in this country. Some 90 of you have traveled great distances from countries all over the world. We are grateful for your presence among us. It is a source of encouragement to us and make us feel that the cause of Syriac is worth defending and promoting. Thank you very much for coming over here. To shorten my welcome address, let me now turn to His Grace Joseph Perindottam, who is now presiding over our inaugural session of the World Conference, World Syriac Conference. In the person of Joseph Perindottam, we have an Archbishop who promotes Syriac studies effectively. He has given the general permission to all his priests to delve deep into Syriac language and literature. We have had several priests from his diocese who have completed their post-graduation in Syriac course and are now doing their PhD programs here or in Rome. In all the preceding conferences, the Archdiocese of Changanacherry extended a warm hospitality to all our participants, especially those from abroad. With these words, let me warmly welcome His Grace Mar Joseph Perindottam. To inaugurate this 8th conference, we have the great Metropolitan of the Marthoma Syrian Church, His Grace Joseph Marthoma. A great neighbor of mine. We live in the same town. I should say, if I remember correctly, that no World Syriac Conference has taken place here without the presence and blessing of the Marthoma Metropolitans. Metropolitan Joseph Marthoma is renowned for his use of the Syriac language and his liturgical celebrations. He also made provisions for the reintroduction of the teaching of Syriac in the Marthoma Theological Seminary. He sent many of his priests to Seeri to learn Syriac. Metropolitan Joseph Marthoma has brought to the fore the importance of Syriac for the mission and spirituality of the Marthoma Church. The mission of the Marthoma Church is unique in that it combines both Syriac and Reformation traditions. With these words, for having graciously consented to inaugurate this World Syriac Conference, let me warmly welcome His Grace Joseph Marthoma. We are supposed to have the presence of His Grace Thomas Marathanesius, the Bishop of Chenganur, and also Bishop Barnabas of the Marthoma Church from Adur. Unfortunately, both of them could not be present because of other reasons. It is my great joy to welcome His Grace Dr. Maraprem, who is going to propose the vote of thanks for this session. His Grace is well known for everyone and he is loved by all of us and he needs no introduction. He is a great friend of Seeri and a supporter of Seeri. His Grace has done his doctorate from this great institute, Seeri. He is the first student who has completed PhD from this institute. So, as an alumni and also as a great friend of all of us, I welcome graciously His Grace Maraprem. In 1995, this institute, Seeri, was established as the Research and Regional Center for Syriac Studies of the Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam. Since that time, the university authorities have always been present at the World Syriac Conference organized by this institution. Today, we are greatly privileged to have with us Professor M.R. Unni, the Registrar of the Mahatma Gandhi University. Professor Unni, you are the person who knows all about Seeri, and you are given and you are going to greet us, wishing all the best of MG University to this conference. As you all know, the prime purpose of the university is not so much to train people for a job as to foster education, learning and research. Therefore, we thank Mahatma Gandhi University for its vision in including Syriac studies in its curriculum, and we warmly welcome you, Professor Uni, and thank you for your presence here amidst us. Our keynote lectures today are given by Dr. Harold Schumann and by Sebastian Brock. If one of them is a founding father of Seeri, the other can be called the foster father. Neither of these distinguished people need an introduction from me. Suffice to say that both have been essential to the growth of Seeri, and we cannot thank either of you enough. And on behalf of this 8th conference, I warmly welcome both of you, dear Harold Schumann and Sebastian Brock. We have the great person. Second felicitation speech is by Mr. K.P. Fabian, Indian Foreign Service person. In the course of his distinguished career, Mr. Fabian has been ambassador to several countries. He is particularly knowledgeable in Middle East affairs and has written a number of books on the cultural heritage of the Syriac world. He has just returned from a visit to Lebanon, home country of the Syrian Christians. We appreciate your interest in the culture of the Syriac-speaking world and your readiness to support Seeri in all its programs and activities. Ms. Fabian, we welcome you most warmly to this great conference. I want to express our heartfelt welcome to each of you who are present here, amidst whom we also have Justice Alexander Thomas, the High Court of Kerala, who is a great friend of Seeri and a student of Syriac studies, and also other distinguished fathers, brothers, sisters, and also our faithful lay people. I welcome all of you to this Syriac 8th Syriac World Conference. Hearty welcome. I see in front of me ecclesiastical and academic dignitaries. I see in front of me scholars and students. I see in front of me people from all over the world, from Japan to America, from Norway to Australia, from Philippines and so on. All of you have come because of one thing. You love Syriac language and you love the Syrian culture. It is this passion of yours that makes this conference what it is. I hope and wish a wonderful conference for each of you. Before I conclude, I also would like to say that music makes a culture mystical, and this is especially true of Syriac music. The mystical quality of Syriac music will be demonstrated today by three of our friends, Dr. Sajini Marit, Dr. Jay Prakash, both of them are medical doctors, my dear friends, and Arun Jay Prakash. We warmly welcome this family. Well, as President once again, it is also my pleasant duty to say a thank you to Father Dr. Jacob Thekaparamal, our great friend, and also Father Raju, and all those who have worked for making this conference possible. A dream which 2 years ago we had, and today we are realizing. Father Jacob, because of his hospitality, because of his great erudition, because of his great heart. He doesn't have a heart problem. He said he has no problem. He said, because of his heart, we are all here. And many of us experience that Seeri is not only a center for learning Syriac, it is indeed a cradle where we nurture and nourish and foster true ecumenism. Respect for each other, respect for the tradition, age-old tradition which we have bequeathed, which we have inherited from our forefathers, and a wonderful atmosphere of research and study. And for the wonderful work that our sisters and also those who are doing, those who are behind the scene doing, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you very much, and enjoy your days here. Of course, this is the season of a great celebration for Keralites. We celebrate Onam, and today and tomorrow and day after is the last day of Onam. I hope you all enjoy and have a wonderful time. Thank you very much, and may God bless Seeri and this Syriac conference.
Dear Grace, thank you for your very warm words of welcome. We now call upon His Grace Mar Joseph Kottayam to give the presidential address.
His Grace Joseph Matoma, His Grace Dr. Apre, His Grace Matoma Guindos, Professor Dilman Unni, Dr. Sebastian Brock, the distinguished scholars, dear and respected participants. First of all, I want to congratulate and express my deep appreciation to the great service this Institute Seeri is rendering to the Church. And I want especially to thank the organizers of this International Syriac Conference, mainly the leadership that is given by Reverend Father Jacob the Catholic. Church is really in reality tradition, meaning the message of salvation received, lived, and transmitted. We all know that the Universal Church has basically three ecclesial traditions, generally known as the Latin West, the Greek East, and the Syriac Orient. I remember having read a small article written by the eminent scholar Professor Sebastian Brock some 27 years ago. That article actually impressed me much. The article is entitled The Two Poles of Syriac Tradition. Here there presents the church as a tripartite tradition. I want to stress the importance of the Syriac studies, which is being promoted through this institute, the Seeri. It is really a center of learning Syriac, the Syriac language, and also the Syriac literature. Even though church is based on these three traditions, Latin, Greek and Syriac, very often the Syriac tradition is ignored. I think there is an injustice done to this tradition, even in the history of the church. I again refer to the article of Professor Sebastian Brock, who there writes about the preeminent role of the Syriac tradition, especially its Semitic pole. He speaks of two poles of Syriac Christianity, the Semitic and the Hellenic pole of Syriac Christianity. The preeminence of the Semitic pole is that the contents of this Semitic Christianity or Semitic tradition has universal significance, because it is about the origin of Christian tradition. Christianity was born in the Semitic meaning, and the specific features of the church, the original church, we find in this Semitic pole of Christian tradition. This tradition is especially important for the churches of for Asian continent. Christianity is born in this continent, the Asian continent. Very often the people in Asia or in India think of Christianity as something exported from Europe. Actually, the case is not so. Christianity is of Asian origin, and the specific features of Asian Christianity we find in its Semitic tradition. Therefore, the Christians of India, or those belong to the churches that those belong to the Syriac tradition, has a preeminent role to have deeper studies on this tradition, the Syriac tradition, especially the original feature of this tradition, which are reflected mainly in the literature, the Syriac literature before 400 AD. So, in order to understand the authentic nature of our church, the most uncontaminated tradition of the church, we need to go back to this original tradition it possesses. This view of Christianity is especially prominent in the liturgical tradition. In the Syriac church, liturgy has greater importance. And so studying the liturgical tradition of the Syriac churches, for the study or research in the liturgical tradition of the Syriac churches, this Semitic dimension is very important. At the same time, its Hellenic wing, Hellenic pole, is also very important in the sense that it is a meeting point between the Syriac Christianity and both Greek and Latin Christianity. So, I hope that this conference and also the studies that are promoted here in Syria are really contributing to the church, enriching the church. As Archbishop Paulos has said, my church and especially my archparchy is very much benefited from this Seeri, this institute. Many of our base analysts are studied here, and I am grateful to you for this kind of service that you are giving. I once more wish this conference all the best, God's blessings. I thank you for inviting me to be part of this inaugural session. I am personally interested in the promotion of this Syriac tradition and especially in the Indian context, and more especially in the Kerala context. These studies are very important. Even the children of this church, the Syriac churches here, are not very much aware of the rich treasures in their tradition. Syriac treasures are forgotten, and its own children are not very much interested in the study of these treasures. I hope this series will promote more and more Syriac studies so that it will and it can enrich even the universal church of any or churches of any tradition. Thank you very much. I wish you good luck to all the participants. Thank you.
Your Grace, thank you for giving the presidential address. And now we call upon His Grace Joseph Marthoma, Metropolitan of the Marthoma Syrian Church, to inaugurate the 8th World Syriac Conference.
Respected Chairperson, His Grace Joseph Archbishop of Tirunelveli